Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and I'm doing Deep Track Zax contest featuring the year 1971. Of course, that was 50 years ago. A lot of great albums came out in that year. I was actually surprised at how many albums I actually do have of that year, and I know there's a lot of good stuff that I don't have, and I'm limiting what I'm showing to what I have. It's mostly going to be stuff I have on vinyl. I'm going to show a couple of CDs really quickly. Um, there's a lot of good albums, some of them that I might have put on my list if I actually had in a physical format right now, but I don't. But anyway, I'm going to go, this will be sort of my tie for number 10 slash honorable mention. These are both records I definitely would like to have at vinyl at some point, but currently don't. So we have Joni Mitchell, Blue. We have Led Zeppelin, 4. You probably know these albums. If you're a rock person, you certainly know Led Zeppelin 4. If you're a singer-songwriter person, you know Joni Mitchell, Blue. I have several Joni Mitchell albums on vinyl that I inherited from my dad, but for some reason Blue wasn't one of them, and I have picked up a CD along the way, but not the vinyl on that yet. Let's get into some stuff I do have on vinyl. Some of these are newer reissues. Some of them are old school. So here's a newer reissue. This is a Vinyl Me Please Essential from several months ago. So this is John Prine's debut album. We, of course, lost John Prine due to COVID. Because it's Vinyl Me Please, it's on a silly color. So that's going to be my number 9. Number 8, I have this old copy of David Crosby's album, If Only I Could Remember My Name. Just making sure I had the full title correct. And so I think I've shown this in other videos before. Obviously, it's basically David Crosby and sort of a who's who of sort of that country rock, folk rock world at that time. Graham Nash, Neil Young, Phil Lesh, Jerry Garcia, Jack Cassidy, Grace Slick, Greg Raleigh. I'm not even naming everybody. So lots of well-known folks. Number 7, I'm not a huge Elton John guy. This is probably my favorite Elton John record. Mad Men Across the Water. Leave On, I think, is a really good song. I know Leave On is on this album. Tiny Dancer. So, and this was a Super Savers. Sorry, I had some stuff falling over. Next couple, most of my jazz collection tends to be from the 60s or maybe the 50s. But I do have a couple of more obscure albums from 1971. These are both Vinyl Me Please stuff I got. I'm pretty sure I showed both of these when I did the jazz final tag. So we have Walter Bishop Jr. with Coral Keys. This was on the Black Jazz label, reissue on some funky colored vinyl there. Walter Bishop is a piano player. Idris Muhammad played drums on half the record. Reggie Johnson on bass. Harold Vick on flute and saxophone. Then on side 2 we had Alan Schwartz, Benger on drums, Woody Shaw on trumpet. My number, is this not yet? My number 5, this is Harold Washington, Sunshine Man. So I like to show this album because I think he's the coolest looking cat ever. But I also enjoyed his music. He played saxophone. He played some flute as well, accompanied by Neil Crack electric piano, Richard Landrum conga, Richard Davis bass, Pretty Purdy, Bernard Purdy on drums. And so, again, this is a reissue on some crazy color vinyl. Um, Apparently, this guy was only part of the music world for a few years, and then he kind of got disenchanted with music and left. Number 4, most of you guys have heard of this album. It's by a little band called the Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers. This is a reissue, so the zipper doesn't work or anything. This isn't any one of those rare ones, but Brown Sugar, etc. You've heard of this album. Number 3, another Vinyl Me Please special. Vinyl Me Please has kind of beefed up some of my jazz and soul collection. So the crazy green colored, this will make a good screenshot. Crazy green colored vinyl. Al Green gets next to you. And so that's my number 3. Number 2, we're going to go with Funkadelic, Maggot Brain, Eddie Hazel, just some mind-blowing guitar work. This isn't Vinyl Me Please, but it's another recent reissue, so it's on this funky yellow vinyl. I've got lots of funky vinyl. So, and then my number 1 is when Pete Pardo was doing this on Sea of Tranquility, going through albums from 1971. This is the one I had picked on my favorite, commenting to some of his videos. I'm going to stick with it. This is a recent reissue. You can tell by the different looking cover. This is, I believe this is Newberry Comics. Yeah, this is Newberry Comics version of Allman Brothers Band at Fillmore East. Of course, it was actually taped in 1970, so maybe I'm cheating, but this was released in 71. I've got a version that's on, so there's a 2-disc version, got some sort of translucent purple vinyl for one of the discs, and I think the other disc is it, yeah, the other disc is sort of this translucent teal color. So we got fancy 21st century vinyl for this very 20th century southern rock. But Allman Brothers Band, I'm going to go with that for my number 1 album for my 1971's pick. So we'll talk to you another time.